behind you for your blue lights. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that live.
What's going on, folks? It is the True Vapor Show number 133. And the big question today is, Alexa, who is Phil Busardo?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Exactly. Thank you.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Here we go. Take it away, Mark.
All right. I don't know the names of any of this stuff because I just opened it. So vaping on that. Mike, do you know the names of this stuff?
That's the blade kit from Geek.
There we go. There's the blade. SRTA on the IPv3 Li Classic. This is the UL mod. Don't know the name of it. We'll just call it the UL mod.
Iron Fist.
The top one from Sigelli with the UL. It's another UL here. There you go. Thank you, Mike.
Wow, look at the screen on that one, huh?
And then I got a DNA 250 with the drop and some juice, some Nilakilla Paradigm. I got some lemon berry. I got some nada, and I got some lemon bar. There we go. Take it away, Mike.
All righty. I am vaping on the SQ mod, Swanking, with the B2K RDA. Also vaping on the fancier RTA and the Iron Fists, both from UL. I'm vaping on the Bankruptcy mod. On top of it, I have the, what's it called again? The Themis RTA from Geek Vape. And liquids I'm vaping on is some Royal Custard. I said Royal Custard. Some Raspberry Custard from Royal. Also vaping on some Coil Spill. And what else am I vaping on? Tony B's Blue Pucker. That's it. Take it away, Phil. Let's see what you're vaping today.
Did you say blue fucker?
Blue Pucker.
Pucker. Okay. I'm sorry. I got Mark's backdrop on my mind. I can't get over that. What's the name of that mod there, Mark?
That is an actual dildo. Thank you.
Oh, okay. The fact that you have an actual dildo, it just concerns me in general.
But that pointed out concerns me.
You guys pull out all your fancy new shit. You know me. I'm just I got my Chroma A with my my Zenith tank on it. I got my Aegis with my my Aries tank on it, and I got what I'm going to review today, which is the Basil from eLeaf. Vaping. I'm vaping some of this here Isla Papaya Coconut Rum from Rumble Pup that I really, really like. Andrew from Delaware Vapor was nice enough to send me kind of an old favorite here, Peach Green Tea, that I absolutely love. And I got some of my my Bromance Strawberry Malt here too. That would be Dimitri's flavor in those 3 tanks right there. That's what I got.
Nice.
Cool deal. Well, I'm simple today. Mag mod with the drop, doing that Brad's Brew, yummy. And of course, you know I'm always messing with my pod stuff, because actually everybody thinks, well, why did you get into pods? Well, I'm going to blame this one on Phil. I watched Phil's video on this, and he got me hooked on this, so I blame it all on him.
How the hell is it my fault? How do you like it?
I'm just kidding.
How do you like the drop?
You know what? A couple of us have been doing pods now for what I'd say maybe a month or so or something like that. Just curious out of trying them out. And, you know, I've actually been enjoying using them. So it's weird. I still do all my other stuff, but I'm still enjoying, like, especially when I'm sitting in the office or whatever like that. I like to, you know, mess with it a little bit.
Never apologize for what you're vaping, man, as long as you're vaping.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Phil, have you tried the new Joytech one, the Ego AIO Echo?
They have one. They have one coming my way. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, this is real nice. It was a good one.
You know what's funny about all this is that, and you say don't apologize for what you're using. People, I guess, have seen us use certain things forever, and then, you know, when you try something else, it's like, oh, well, why in the hell are you doing that? What does it matter? You're vaping. You know, as long as you're vaping, that's what matters about all this. But again, like we talked about with change too, people are like, ooh, don't change. Don't change.
People don't really like change all that much.
And speaking of change,
yeah.
Wow. I mean, I think last time you was on, it was you and Dimitri when y'all were talking about your new device out, and your background didn't look like that. What the hell happened?
No. So I have not moved to Florida, but I kind of built my retirement home here. So I'm going to be going back and forth between this location and the Rochester location. It's taken me a while to get this room up to where it is now, and it's still not perfect. I still got a lot of echo, and I'm working on that. Different equipment, different sound absorption stuff. But, I know people are missing. I've heard that so many times now. They're missing the old backdrop. They're missing the basement. But, guys, this is really good for Phil Busardo. I mean, I really enjoy being in this office. I enjoy being able to look outside. So it's good for me. I get to walk every day. I get to ride my bike every day. These are just changes that I need to make in my life. So I hope you guys accept that.
So is this like a retirement home that you're at, that you have nurses check on you daily? Or
Yeah. They come in really early in the morning. They give me my Ensure. They change my Depends, and then I'm off. I'm ready to go for the day. Yeah.
You gotta love that stuff right there.
Yeah.
I'll be joining you here very shortly down
Yeah,
there.
come on. I tell you what, the area, like I said, the area that I'm in, it's an up and coming area. There's a lot of land, a lot of property, a lot of houses, a lot of inexpensive stuff. We should all the reviewers should move on this block right here. We can fight it out at times. We can get along at times. We can have big giant group reviews. It'd be a lot of fun. We got barbecues. Got vaping.
Nope. Do you have any?
And then, when it gets like, the 100 degrees with 150% humidity, we all just fucking stay inside in the air conditioning.
That's right.
You have an affiliate link to buy a house?
Yeah. I'll put the affiliate link up for my realtor and my home builder up in the link. Yeah.
Nice.
Phil, I wanted to ask you a question. I know you were saying something about echoey sound.
Yeah, I had to ask you a question too, Mike, but go ahead. You go first.
What do you have on the floor? You have carpeting?
No, it's tile floor.
Okay, get yourself a nice big area rug. That's the first.
Oh, I know. Oh, believe me, I know the changes that I need to make. The problem is with the area rug, I can't, I can't do that. I can't do that with the area rug. So
yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Although the floor is so slippery. You know what I did the other night? When I stood up, right, the chair rolled away from me, and I thought it was still behind me, and I sat down. This is why I'm in a retirement home now, right? I could break a hip. I could literally break a hip, right? And we don't want that to happen.
What I would do is I would put the carpeting, and then get yourself and put on top of the carpeting what are those panels that?
The slide, the plastics glides for the
angle them so this way you could make that angle where you could just still go across.
Yeah.
But the carpet, that's the main reason. No matter what you do in there, you're going to have to fill that room up a lot to get that echo out because of the floor.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm also looking at different kinds of shotgun mics overhanging, more like directional, different kinds of processors. But I am thinking about the carpeting too. But more importantly, you were listening in on the Greek show yesterday?
Yes.
Did Dimitri correctly, translate everything that I said properly? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, I'm impressed with how he speaks Greek.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know, but then I found out that he was actually born in Greece.
You didn't know that? You couldn't tell?
Yeah. Well, I was like, he speaks it so fluent, like as if he grew up there. And
yeah, he did. But my only concern is, like, I talk for 5 minutes and his translation takes 30 minutes, and that concerns me at times.
Well, you know how it goes, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Oh my God, that was a marathon show. That show went for 3.5 hours yesterday.
Yeah, I watched like maybe an hour.
3.5 hours of me listening to Greek for the most part. Did you see the part where I brought out the vacuum? That was fun.
Yes. That's
Well, that's one thing, if y'all don't know, which I'm certain everybody does know this, you and Dimitri have a new show now. That was your second episode, correct?
That was the second episode, yeah.
And so this is going to be an ongoing thing every week, or is it just going to be like when you're ready to put one down?
It's going to be, we're shooting for bi-weekly, every other week. But I mean, with all of the travel that we have coming up right now, we're going to get to them when we can get to them. So yeah, we're really excited about the show. it's a very different kind of show. I know people are bitching and complaining that we're calling it the smokers show, but that's what it is. I mean, that's what people need to understand. That's what it is. Those are the people that we want to attract to the show, smokers.
Yeah.
It is not a show for vapors. Although, you know, a lot of vapors are going to watch it, and I think that's terrific. But the goal is to get the vapors to if they have friends who smoke, if they have family, loved ones who smoke, get them to watch the show, because the information that we're going to be going over and over and over and over again is really information for the people who have no idea what vaping is all about, right? It's not for vapors. We already know the information. We get it. We get it. We've educated ourselves over the years, but like I always say, right now in the world, somewhere, somebody is picking this thing up for the first time. They have no idea what an RDA is, an RTDA, all these fucking different kinds of wires, Clapton coils. It's so overwhelming now, and that's exactly why we're doing the show.
And what's funny is that I was catching it off and on too, and somebody in chat had put the title to this show is misleading. This is a fucked up title, and I'm like, how?
I was confused too when I seen the title of the show, The Smokers. Like, I was like, the smokers.
Well, all right, I can say this. If somebody that does vape just clicked on it, it's like, what the hell is this shit? But if they keep up with what's going on, they fully understand what's going on with the show.
Like for me, I knew, because I knew he was going to do a show. So when I saw the title, I understood it. But for a lot of people that didn't know, and they just pop on and like, what? Why is it called a smoker show? It could be confusing for them. But what I would do is I would put a little, like in the description, what you said, why the show you're doing it, type it all out down there. So this way, when people ask why, just tell them, check the description. Everything is written down what the show is about.
Yeah. I mean, the show is definitely evolving. The charts, the PowerPoint is evolving. The information that we're going to give is going to evolve. Hopefully evolve in a good way. But I mean, of course, we're listening to comments. We're going to take all the comments to heart. But some things, we feel we need to do them a certain way, and that's going to continue on.
I got to say though, it is it's a great show, because like a lot of us have been doing shows for a long time, and we kind of, I guess, maybe cater more to the people that have been vaping for a long time. And you start to lose track a little bit that, hey, you're doing this too for newer vapors or people wanting to get involved with it, to see, hey, what kind of products are out there. Instead of me trying to jump into this off of a pack of cigarettes, maybe I need to do something like this.
Yeah,
of course. And it's good that y'all got what y'all got going there. So,
yeah. Back in the day, when I started vaping, there were limited choices, right? There were limited choices, limited styles, limited materials, limited resistances. Everything was limited. So you had a handful of products to choose from. You jump in it today, and it can be extremely overwhelming. It's great that we have all of those choices now, because everybody can find something. But it's also very confusing for somebody coming into, vaping for the first time.
Definitely.
I agree.
What's hanging next to you on your right? It's driving me nuts.
A little white pull down.
Is that a light? Yeah, that thing. What is that?
That's it's a whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I was wondering what the hell it was.
It's actually a collaborative whiteboard. So if I write stuff on there, it can show up on like Dimitri's phone. I can capture it. I could send it over to Inikin. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's nice.
That is cool.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, if Mark had that in his room, he would just color on it. Like,
I'd be drawing like dicks on it and shit.
There'd be big penises, big penis dildos on it.
Oh gosh. So I'm curious, since the release of the Aries and all that, how's everything been going with that particular atomizer and the stuff you've had working here lately?
It's been great, and it's been like I'm surprised I don't have as much hair as you do right now, because there have been QC issues, there have been issues here, issues there. One of the things, and I knew this was going to happen, right? But Dimitri and I are so approachable, and it's so easy to get a hold of us. If anybody has an issue, they come to us, right? Now, if you've got 50,000 atomizers out in the market, even if 5% of them fail, you can imagine, the number of people who are coming to us and complaining. So Inikin really stepped up to the plate. They acknowledged the fact that they had some QC issues. They put out a post, and we've got a level of customer service that hopefully people are appreciating. We're taking care of problems. We're trying to make improvements in QC and manufacturing. It's hard because you're not there. You're not there. You don't have the ability to look at and test every atomizer that's coming off the line. You just have to hope that, you know, the QC steps and procedures that they have in place are going to catch and capture any issues. But, you know, we've seen Chinese manufacturing, and that's not always the case. You have, you know, a million hands on one product. So, you know, we're doing everything that we can to make it a successful product. There's a ton of people out there who love it. You know, there's some people who don't so much. There's some people who have had problems. Hopefully we're handling those problems to the best of our ability, and Anakin is doing a really good job there. So I think overall we're happy, but there have been some hiccups. The Zenith is doing really, really well. We've had a couple hiccups there too with the Zenith. I know Ruby had an issue with hers just like draining the tank, which I can't figure out why. I went to Ruby to ask her about, you know, what happened, and I wanted to know if the issue was recreatable, right? You know, was it a particular coil head? Was it? And she said no. She said I took it all apart. She put it all back together, and it worked perfect. So that leads me to believe that maybe something wasn't seated correctly, and when she took everything apart and put it back together, it seated itself correctly. So I don't know, but much less issues with the Zenith than with the Aries. But both have been, I think, for the most part, good. Most part, good. You know, with the Aries, I think a lot of people, they didn't understand the whole concept behind the atomizer. It's not an atomizer that's supposed to work perfect for some. It's an atomizer that's supposed to work good for a lot of people, right? It was designed to be super, super easy, very approachable, all-inclusive package, and really invite people in who have never built before. You know, give them a very, very easy platform to build on and to work with on a daily basis. I still think that we've achieved that, but you know, hey, look, no matter what we do, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. That's just the nature of the beast.
Look, you can't satisfy everyone.
No, you can't. Absolutely, you can't. Absolutely, you can't. But if we could satisfy 70%, that's a pretty good number. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm curious, and I think I might have asked this last time, but just refresh me. Are you like solely working with Anakin and nobody else, or is there a possibility you might do projects with Anakin and maybe somebody else too? Or
no, we're exclusive. I mean, I dedicated that to Anakin. We're exclusive with Anakin. You know, I think there's an exclusivity agreement in place. So no, I can't collaborate with any other companies. Yeah, I mean, I can look at their products. I can answer their questions certainly, but I'm not going to collaborate with anybody else other than Anakin.
Gotcha.
And Anakin's been very good. I mean, I've known George for a long time. I've known George from back in the Bogue days. I think I've told that story before. And I mean, they're very, they're very used to our culture. They have a lot of people in the company that are used to our culture. They've been like a family for a long time now, and the relationship is extremely good. It's extremely good. We're heading back there probably after Chinese New Year to get with the engineers and to start collaborating on the next batch of products. That's one of the problems, though. They don't move like a Joytech moves. They don't move like a Smoke moves. They're more. They got their set ways of doing things. They're a little bit slower. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. It is bad in the fact that I was talking to Dimitri, and we mentioned this on a couple other shows. If it were up to us, we would probably have about 15 products out in the market right now, right? Because that's kind of where our portfolio is, and at least 36 accessories, at least. But we've got to we got to work at their speed. Unfortunately, we have to work at their speed. The problem with working at their speed is inevitably this, right? Even with the Aries, right? The Aries was under development for a good amount of time, and then you get something in like the Siren 2, and you look at it and you go, fuck. Right?
I know that feeling.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time before like some of our other ideas in the upcoming products. I hope we are the first ones out with the ideas, but unless we can kind of push and move a little bit faster, it's going to be the same kind of thing. We're going to get another product in, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to go, oh fuck, because
Exactly.
I've noticed that in the vape game is that when you have a great idea, chances are somebody else already had that great idea, and they're currently working on it, right? So it's a matter of speed, but you don't want to go too fast because you really want the product to be as good as it possibly can be going out the door. So it's tough. It's a balancing act.
Yeah, when you put too many products out, you end up like smoke, and then people are just way too much shit, and they don't look at stuff, and shit gets sloppy and slips by, and like smoke puts out a mod every week.
They do. They do.
Like,
yeah.
People don't like smoke as much anymore.
Well, and one thing too that I've always said about Anakin is that they have been slow to the game sometimes bringing stuff out, but it's everything they bring out. You don't hear people like a week, days, months, whatever later going, oh man, this thing's crap because they just pushed this out. You never hear stories like that with Anakin, but they are a little slow to get things out to where people are like, so
they absolutely are. I mean, the Chroma A is a good example. I've probably used this, when I consider like use, right? The only other product that I probably have more use on is the Radius. Okay. And, looking at this now, the only thing that's wrong with it is I've got a little bit of paint missing right here. And this is not babied. It's not, it's not wrapped in fucking bubble wrap when I'm not using it. It's used. It's dropped. It falls over, and it continues to work. And I think, and that's another thing about Anakin, and probably to their detriment, is that they're really focused on safety, right? They don't want their products blown up or anything going wrong. You should have heard some of the discussions and the conversations just with them releasing devices with user replaceable batteries. I mean, they don't even want to do that, but they acknowledge the fact that they kind of have to compete. So they're very, very safety focused. And again, probably at times to their detriment. But I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
I was actually talking with George, and he told me how a lot of it's a lot of distributors say how Anakin only does they're basically only for beginners. That's what they had told them.
Mm-hmm.
For beginner devices, and he told me, wait this year, we're going to show everybody that we don't only make the beginner devices or the mouth to lung devices, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. I know there are a couple of products that are headed my way that I can't talk about yet, but yeah. I know you got it coming too. I think we're going to see some pretty big things from Anakin, and hopefully it pans out for them.
Without giving out too much information on one of the products, doesn't it remind you of something else?
Well, everything reminds me of something else at this point.
Okay, I thought maybe you'd understand what. We'll talk about it later.
I think I know what you're talking about, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that Scion tank they just released, I wouldn't really consider for beginners.
The new Scion?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're talking about mods. You don't really see them pumping out big mod like the way you see Smoke pumping out their mods.
Right.
Anakin stuff is mostly lower wattage, built-in batteries that could be used for both. I mean, their biggest power device was basically the Coolfire, like the Schoolfire, like the Ultra, where it's like a 150 watt device.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever done anything 200 watt, right?
No, but they've got some, well, Mike,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm talking about what's released already. This is like their most powerful device.
Yeah. But they're also doing what I like too is they're doing different stuff like the lift box, right? I mean that's something that we really don't see. That technology where it's not really technology; it's a vacuum, it's a straw, right? It sucks the liquid up.
That's
into the
perfect that you actually are using it. Is it working for you? Because you do mouth to lung draw with that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pulling? Because I know that's the only way I could see it pulling up the liquid. Because it doesn't work for me any other way.
It doesn't work for you direct lung?
No.
Right. And that's definitely going to be a problem with this, right? It's going to be dependent on it's dependent on too much stuff,
Yeah.
right? It's dependent on how hard you suck. And Mike, in your case, probably pretty hard.
Yes.
It's going to depend on how you have your airflow. It's going to depend on the viscosity. I think personally, it's too dependent on a lot of different things to properly feed. The way I have it right now, and I have a new mouth to lung rebuildable dripping atomizer coming in that I'm going to use exclusively with this. I'm kind of happy with this, not really though. So I'm looking forward to that new atomizer coming in because I could kind of kill two birds with one stone.
Is it the one from Vapefly?
It is the one from Vapefly.
That's I actually had the same thing I was gonna do the same thing you're gonna do. I was gonna throw it on a lift box.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, I just got a little bit of vapor in my juice in my eye. But yeah, so I mean, it's something cool. It's something different, but it's going to be dependent on too many things, and it's going to work perfectly for some people, and it's going to work kind of okay for other people, and it's going to work not at all for other people, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't exactly going to bring that one up, but I do know of a few people that have that, and that seems like the only device so far that I've ever heard from Anakin that's kind of like back and forth. It's not like 100% out of the box doing what you want it to do. There's like certain ways it's got to work for you to achieve that. So
yeah, when I first saw the design, and the design really wasn't the box. The design was that little tank that they have. It's the lift, right? The lift.
Yeah.
And as soon as I looked at it, I said, wow, that's going to work perfect for some people, and it's like not going to work at all for other people. It almost reminds me of, oh Christ, it was a long time ago. Avid Vapor put out a tank for their HH357, and it like worked perfectly for some people, and it didn't work for other people. It's too dependent on the draw and the type of vapor that's using it, right?
yeah.
The only way anything would work like on the lift box, because the way I vape is I'd have to cover the airflows up.
Yes.
And take a couple of primer puffs. And
then pulls it right in.
Put up.
Yep.
Have you tried, and I know it's still more towards the lines of direct lung, but still, have you tried a B2K yet, Phil?
I have not.
Mike, you think that would be one he'd enjoy if he...
Yeah, the B2K RDA is probably one that you would enjoy. They have now a mouth to lung adapter that goes inside it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't tested it out yet. I don't have the adapter, but I'll let you know on that one.
Okay, cool. Did any of you guys get involved in the drama with this one? The NCR?
I don't want to bother using that.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, I opened it up. I looked at it. I kind of laughed at the user manual, and I put it back in the box. I know it's direct lung, but it's a different kind of technology. It's like the that old one that came out a while ago, the Altus, right? That everybody was like freaking out about.
Yep.
But you know, I got a whole bunch of bad reports about the wafer and it breaking down and it being toxic, and like,
yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, you know, I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to be around that RDA.
Yeah. So it sits in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with most people it has. It doesn't look all that great. But you know, when the first one was released, first of all, the price point on it was like, are you serious? $120 for that? And all this hype that was built up, and then I know a few of the guys that got it, and they were like, oh no, hell no. So what else good's been happening with you, man? You got moved down. Looks like you settled in pretty much. Are you staying busy with traveling around and all that?
Yeah.
Or
the travel kind of slowed down, but now it's going to pick back up again, big time. Like I said, I got NVE. In like a week and a half, I'm going up to Mississauga, Canada, for the grand opening of. Oh, I'm going to forget the name of the place. That's not good. I should know the name of the place. But they're also doing a bromance launch event and doing some support of the Anakin product there. I really need to know the name of that place. Hold on. Demi's typing to me. What?
And those folks are actually watching, and they're like, "This son of a bitch
Oh
forgot."
my God, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I will let you know. It's Jesus Christ, what is it? Hold on. No, this is good. It's the build Signature Vape.
There you
Signature
go.
Vape. That's the name of the place, Signature Vape. That I'm going to be at. They're opening their Mississauga location, so we're doing like a grand opening for them. And like I said, it's a bromance launch party and support the Indican product. So that I got Stuttgart coming up, Germany. I've got I'm going to do Vape Bash UK again this year. I've got the NVE. Finally, I'm going to get to meet Scott live and in person. I'm excited about that.
Hey,
right?
NVE is going to be good. There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a nice event.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, I enjoy the venue. I enjoy the people. So that'll be a good time.
Yeah, I know this will be me and Mark's first time to Foxwoods, and we've heard so much, from others that it's just a awesome event. So I'm definitely stoked about going. Of course, get to meet you for the first time. A few others. I know Matt's supposed to be there. What we're hearing, Matt and V. So seemed like a lot of folks are going to be there. A lot of YouTube folks this time.
Yeah.
So folks that I've watched and got to hang out with on shows and stuff like that, it'll finally be nice to meet these people. So,
Good.
But and that one's coming up. If y'all don't know, it is March 17th and 18th. So Mike's going to have a booth set up. Quite a few folks. I think Mike's giving away free hot dogs and cotton candy to the first 100 folks. So but definitely be a good time.
When you say Mike's got a booth, we're talking about Mike Vapes, or are we talking about Mike Whitney?
Yeah,
Mike Vapes. Yeah.
Really? What kind of booth do you have? What are you doing? What are you pushing?
For the juice line.
For the juice? Oh, good for you.
I always do the booth there.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I might be hanging out at oh shit.
Here we
go.
No, I don't know if I can say this yet or not. That's why. Let's hold off until later.
Oh gosh. So there's a possibility that you'll be hanging out at one of the little
Oh fuck it, Hexome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say like one of the little grocery stores with inside the casino or something like that. But
Yeah. I'll be selling like Mike's got hot dogs. I'm doing burgers and pizza.
Sweet. So how? I'm curious to know, like, or can you say for what's left in this year? How many more products do you think y'all are going to be able to release this year?
0 until after Chinese New Year.
Well, meaning up through 2018. Do you know about how many that are like a definite that are going to hit the market this year?
No, I wish I did, man. I really do. I really wished I knew. But I honestly don't. We have been more successful actually going to China and working with the engineers and the product development team than doing it, remotely. We do our best to do it remotely, but when you're face to face and you can go over documents and you can go over designs and you can go over specifications and you could start drawing things out on the whiteboard and you have translators there with you, it's much more successful than doing it remotely. So I think we'll get the ball rolling a lot quicker on the products after we go back and actually have a powwow with them.
I'm curious, and I should have asked this last time. Like somebody like Mark or others that are a single person doing this, you and Dimitri kind of team up and put your thoughts together. So is there a lot of back and forth between you and Dimitri? Like, oh, hell no, I don't want this shit in this. And I know there's always going to be areas where you're going to disagree on stuff, but is there like a lot of disagreement, or is it just kind of very minor how things work and y'all just clash together pretty good with things?
There are times that I want to beat his fucking Greek ass so bad. See, like when I design and think and create, I think I do it at a 50,000 foot level, right? We just talked about this on the Greek show yesterday. And then he kind of says, Phil, how about we start on the 10,000 foot level and we go from there? And I'm like, yeah, but look at this beautiful design document that I just created. That's 50 pages, and you want to turn it into a 2-page document. It's like, and that happens a lot. That happens a lot. I'll create a design document that's like 20 pages, all my ideas, boom, on the page, and he'll look at it and he'll be like, they're never going to understand this. They're never going to understand what you're trying to do. They're not going to get. You got to simplify. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then I get grumpy. I get cranky. I'm like, oh fuck, all this work I just put into this document, and you want to turn this masterpiece that I just created into something so simple, and that happens a lot. So, but I also think we get together or we get along so well because we respect each other's opinion, right? He knows that I'm right. I know that he's right. And we have to find that commonality, that right that's between this and this, right? And it tends to work. It tends to work. But oh yeah, we go back and forth on a lot of stuff. There's times where we're perfect, everything's good, and there's times where we clash. But I think we're both mature enough. I think we both respect each other enough that it doesn't get away, in the way of the friendship. It doesn't get in the way of the bromance. We know business is business, design is design, products is products, friends is friends, right? So it's worked. It's worked really, really well, and I hope it continues to work.
Sweet. Well, let me ask your thoughts on, and this is what I've been wanting to do for a while. So we kind of talked about it the first about pod systems and stuff like that. What is your true feeling about these type of devices, like the Juul, the Bow, the Drop, stuff like that? I know that you're going to say, hey, if you're not smoking and doing that, that's cool. But what are your true feelings about them? Do you think they're a good device? Do you think it's just something not worth it, or what?
Well, I mean, you kind of nailed it, though. I mean, like anything that works for you to get, I don't care if you got to fucking stand on your head and pour e-liquid on your feet. I really don't care, which is, by the way, not a recommended way to vape. I really don't care. I think what's happening with the pod systems, though, is kind of interesting because all of the companies in China that used to make the balance scooters, that stopped making the balance scooters to start making the fidget spinners, are now stopping making the fidget spinners to make the pod systems, right? I just think, once again, there's like this massive amount of product. And when anybody comes to me with a pod system, I always ask the same question. Well, what does it do differently than the Juul? Or what does it do differently than the Bow? Or what does it do differently from, those devices that we already have out on the market that do kind of the same thing? And the answer is usually, well, ours is prettier, or ours is, they're very, very similar. They're more Me Too products. But especially the Juul, and I'm going to talk about the Juul, and I'll get a little bit cranky here too, but the Juul is pre-filled, right?
Yep.
And I think that has a bigger benefit over the refillable pod systems because they meet the need of my grandmother or my mother or my aunt or somebody who doesn't want to open that little tab and pour their e-liquid in and then close that little tab, right? It also takes away the well, when do I change the cartridge? When do I change the pod? How long does the coil last? How long does the wicking last, right? Because on the Juul system, you pull off the thing, you throw it away. You just threw away the coil, you threw away the wicking system, and now you put an entire fresh thing on there, right? It works a lot more like a cigarette works. Because with a cigarette, you never had to think about priming it. You never had to think about changing the filter. You never had to think. You just pulled the stick out of the box, you lit it on fire, you used it, right? So I actually kind of like that idea more than the refillable pod systems, because to me, a refillable pod system is a tank. I mean, it's just a different kind. It's this in a different format. I mean, it really is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I like. But I mean, as far as what I think of them, I haven't run into one yet that really satisfies me at a 12 milligram. They all seem to be a little bit underpowered to the point where you need to be at an 18 or into the Nick salts, right? To be satisfying. That's kind of what I've noticed. They all kind of get there. They almost get there, but none of them really like. I can't just sit with a 12 milligram and go, oh, that's just a great vape. That's really satisfying me, right? So I think there's that. Now the thing that I wanted to get cranky about was it yesterday? I think yesterday or the day before, the juuling article that just fucking pissed me off, man. That pissed me off. And then listening to the video of that woman going, well, because of the flavors, they're clearly marketed towards children. No, they're fucking not. No, they're not. Okay? They are not clearly marketed to children. Well, it looks like a USB device. So what? It's the fucking design of the device. Okay? You know, I'm so sick of the device being blamed for what people are doing with the device. You know, this society, we just love the word blame. We fucking hate the word responsible. You know, how about taking? It's not this thing's fault that your kid was able to get it and use it in school. It's the fault of those fucking tools on YouTube who are teaching kids how to do this. Right, number one, it's the fault of the store that sold the kid that. It's the fault of the kid for doing something that the kid knows they shouldn't be doing. And it's the fault of the parents for not knowing and being aware and being educated as to what their kids are doing. It's not the fault of the device. Okay? And the device is not, especially Juul. I mean, of all the companies to blame for targeting kids, Juul does none of that. None of that. They don't have fancy labeling. They don't have cartoons. I mean, they're as straight and narrow as you can come, and it's goddamn frustrating. And I'm sorry, I had to vent because man, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off.
I love it when you do vent, Phil. Even I want you to take a deep breath real quick, but
You're gonna get my heart attack.
I know I am. And folks, this is what he's talking about. This is what.
Yeah, that's marketed to children.
No cartoon characters, no shit, no nothing. Just there's where your pods are for that, and the device itself that it comes in pretty much looks the same. So
you know who are the people that usually talk shit like that? It's people that never smoked, you know. And for those people, they talk shit because they don't need it. You know, they haven't smoked a cigarette or they haven't vaped, whatever. You know, and they could talk shit, but they don't know that the vaping product is actually helping people that have smoked cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? They just don't get it. They rather it be because they never smoke, nobody should smoke. Yeah. So they're going to trash everything. So they're going to trash vaping products too and trash it because they've never done it before.
They all think their kids are perfect and they wouldn't do something like that, so they blame the product. They don't blame the kid.
Well, let me tell you something. If your kid wasn't juuling, your kid would be doing something else your kid isn't supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Okay? If your kid wasn't juuling, they'd find a way to get a cigarette or they'd do something else. You know, it aggravates the piss out of me. And, you know, like I said, pick up that Juul flavor again. What's it called?
This one is mint.
Mint is so attractive to children. Mint is so, I mean, like, seriously.
No, I feel you on that. Also,
just to interrupt you 1 second. Just to interrupt 1 second. Coca-Cola is more dangerous than vaping like one of those mint flavors.
I believe it.
Much more dangerous. Any kind of soda.
Listen to this.
But we'd like to push that shit to the kids.
Of course. Somebody sent me a. I wish I could send it to you, Scott. Can you put photos up?
Yeah, but it will take me a minute to do.
All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Somebody sent me a picture of a vodka bottle, and it's got cotton candy on it. It has cotton candy on it. I mean, you know, if that's not marketing to children, I don't know what the fuck is, right? And I was going to say something else. I'll think of it. You got me all riled up now, and my mind is going at a mile a minute. Oh, okay. So I just heard this. Listen to this. This is great. Okay, this is the fucking society that we live in now. Okay, Dimitri told me that he read somewhere online where he got a story. All right, that there is a committee that is working to redesign the Tide Pods to make them less attractive so that you don't want to eat them.
God.
Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, talk about scary. You have to redesign the pod that goes in your washing machine so that kids don't eat them. What has happened to this society? What kind of stupidity has taken over? Okay, because it's ridiculous.
It is.
And all I see it is just getting worse and worse and worse until some kind of common sense prevails. Man, it's getting frustrating. I was watching the launch, the Falcon Heavy launch, and I was watching it on somebody's YouTube channel. They were doing commentary and everything. And I'm looking at the comments, and the comments are going, this is fake. This is all conspiracy. Look, it's CGI. So obviously CGI. You got people in Florida watching the fucking thing go up. I mean, what's wrong with you? What is like, seriously, what kind of stupid fucking piece of shit troll are you?
Yep.
That you can't be proud of something as spectacular as what we saw on that television, that we as a human species can do something like that. Yep. Right? That you have to even knock that down. Just really do shit that's going on right now scares the fucking shit out of me. It really, really does. It really, this is not my, I told you I might be a little bit off today, Scott. I had, what do you call it? I had my coffee. I did all those shows. I got the smoker show. I got to do another video today. So I told you I might be a little bit crazy today, and it's coming out.
And I told you better be off because I don't want you normal.
I'm invested. I swear to Christ.
But, and somebody made a comment a minute ago, well, you can't blame YouTube. YouTube's not being blamed. What is happening is you've got these dumbass people getting on YouTube trying to teach you stupid shit. And kids are going to sit there and go, oh, okay, well, let's do this shit. It's the dumbass that's on YouTube. It's not YouTube itself, creating a problem. It's some of the dumbasses that get on there. Because we've seen some real dumbasses get on there doing shit. And all they're trying to do, it's not because they want to get a trend started with you. They're just trying to make a name for themselves on YouTube and be the next upgrowing YouTube star.
Of course. I know that. But, the news story, YouTube, the news story especially, you put that news story out. You give it a fancy name like Juuling, okay?
Yep.
You know what you've done? You have probably skyrocketed Juul sales. You have probably made that product so much more attractive to the kids that never saw that story, that have no idea what a Juul is. You've compounded the problem by identifying a problem that doesn't exist.
Nope.
Yep. Exactly.
When I start reading comments and videos and shit, like it doesn't surprise me what some of these people are like. People are just stupid nowadays. They're ignorant. They're stupid. It doesn't surprise me at all.
And everybody that sits on this panel has done YouTube videos for a good long while. And we know what trolls are. We know what they do. We know what they want to do. They literally, I think at a point, or have been at that point, they just want you to create a video about the comment they left so they get some notoriety about what they've said. They get the attention and all this and that. Most times, I never say shit about it. I'll even go this far to say, if I put a video up and you put some random ass comment in there about some stupid shit, I'm going to delete it. If it doesn't pertain to the video, you can disagree with me all day long on the video and I'll leave your comments in. I don't care about that. But if you type in there, your mom sucks ass or whatever like that, Okay, whatever. I delete the comments. No big deal. It's only one click for me, and it doesn't do shit. You didn't put me in a state to where I go lay in bed and go, oh my God, this man said my mom sucks ass, you know. Oh God. Yeah. Some of these people.
Scott, does your mom? Can I have your mom's phone number?
Hold on. Let me check that cemetery number again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's terrible. Now I feel terrible. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. No.
Okay. All right.
She's still
Okay.
alive. She's still alive.
Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh. But I do feel you on that it's just the society we live in nowadays.
Scary.
I guess
Just really scary.
it's scary, but it's even more scary now for how social media works, because most of us that are on this panel, when we were growing up, we didn't have the access to what we've got at our fingertips now. So it gets scarier by the minute.
You know, I was working on not a skit, but something was going through my head the other day, and I wanted to get it out on video. But you know what? I'll just get it out on this show. You ever notice how you can't post anything anymore without somebody getting butthurt?
Mm-hmm.
Like you literally
Yes.
cannot post anything without somebody getting butthurt. And then the people who get butthurt, they write stuff about being butthurt. And then the people who weren't butthurt, they start writing stuff about being butthurt because they got butthurt by the person who was butthurt. And before you know it, you're surrounded with butthurt. And then you all of a sudden you're butthurt and you don't even know why the fuck you're butthurt because you're surrounded by butthurt. See, before the days of social media, we didn't have that because, you know, if you're just butthurt, you're walking around, you're this enclosed capsule of butthurt and you couldn't share your butthurt with everybody. But now you just type, everybody types, right? And when you can do this typing anonymously, now sky's the limit, right? I mean, now you can just type whatever the fuck you want to type because there's no repercussions. You're behind a keyboard. You're a keyboard warrior, right?
Yep.
And so, this is one of the problems with this information age that we live in. This is one of the problems with being having all of this stuff at your fingertips all the time. Is that you just see this. And it just kind of starts to bring you down too. And you don't even know why. You don't even know why. All you know is like, well, everybody else is butthurt about something. So I got to be butthurt too.
Exactly.
And a lot of times the butt hurting is all fake. People just have nothing else to do. And if, have no way to contribute. Like, if, for example, inside this Facebook group, so I'm just going to make up shit. You see a lot of that too.
Of course.
And that's
butt hurts.
That's what sucks too. Like, just for an example, we've got the Vaping Fagan Lounge, the Vape Team, all these Facebook groups for people to come in, share pics, ask questions, stuff like that. What kills me the most is when somebody on there types in like, hey, I'm torn between this RTA and this RTA. What's the advice of the general group in here? Which way should I sway? Maybe somebody is just honestly looking for an answer to kind of help them to which way they should go with things. And when they see a lot of comments from people, hey, I got to experience this with it. It takes one son of a bitch to go in there and go, oh, you're a dumb son of a bitch or something like that. And then it just turns into a hate thread like crazy.
Yeah.
Which we pretty much have to go in there and just delete everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I mean, well, you kind of got my opinion on the whole thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off. But,
No. I'm glad you did, because people just got to see that. I mean, this is not fake. You're very passionate about this just as well as we all are on this panel. And it does drive you to a point to where, I mean, sometimes you got to let it go. You can't keep it bottled up. So
no, I know. Dimitri just sent me a label. This was a beauty, and when I see stuff like this, I wonder why. Why do I fight for this industry? Why do I?
Is it the e-liquid bottle with that label on it?
The where is it? Yeah, the virgin pussy e-juice.
Yes, I saw that.
Is that real? I thought that was just probably fake.
No, he said it's real.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he said it's real.
Holy
You know, it's like you see stuff like that, and you're like, why do I fight for this again?
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know, it's crazy.
I don't get it either. Woo!
Yeah,
Well,
this is a motion charged show.
yes. I'm gonna have to bring you back every couple of weeks to get you fired up, get your blood pumping, right?
Just you know, take his dildo out. That just might calm the mood a little bit there.
You know,
I'm obsessed with that dildo.
What?
I'm scared when he does.
Hold up, Mark. Where's Pink Stacy?
Where's your mug?
right here. I think I'm gonna cut the mouthpiece off. Whoa, shit! I might actually cut the mouthpiece off because, like Phil said, it looks a little uncomfortable.
I wish I could screen grab right now. I really do, because that was a classic screen grab. I'm gonna go back and screen grab this from the replay.
Actually,
I'm sure there's probably a lot of screen grabs of that anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all over the internet already.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, never mind. Okay.
Just go to his channel. I mean, every video you can just watch, you're going to see it somewhere in there.
Oh, you got to see the video of Mark wearing his wife's clothing. What were you wearing? Some
like a tube top or some shit.
Oh my god!
And of all videos,
God, I'm getting all hot and bothered just thinking about that.
Well, the bad thing was it was a serious video for Smoke. So
yeah. You ever review something and it's like you felt like you reviewed it 1,000 times and you get so fucking like fed up, you go crazy? That's what happened to me in that video. Like I went fucking crazy and I ended up putting on my wife's clothes. That's how I guess I deal with being crazy.
By the way, did I ever feel like I reviewed something 1,000 times before? Yes, every fucking thing that I review.
So let me ask: are you still receiving quite a bit of stuff for review, or has that kind of tapered off with everything else you got going on?
I still get a lot of stuff. Probably not as much as you guys do. I don't know if that's because of the relationship with Anakin, or if it's just because I can't do the amount of reviews that I did before. But I still get stuff, and if that stops, I'll fucking buy stuff. I don't care. You know, I mean, I don't do this to get free stuff. I do this to help people out with vaping. So yeah, but believe me, there's still I still can't keep up with the amount of stuff that I do get. So
yeah.
You're not missing out on any of the new stuff. Trust me. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, everybody's trying to take the same thing. I mean, a volt is a volt is a volt, right? They're just trying to deliver that volt in a different package, a different body, a different style, different features, a different screen, more color. So, but I mean, bottom line, you know, they for the most part do all the same thing, right? Let's not kid ourselves.
Yep.
Now, and I don't want you to say what it is because obviously you're telling your shit, but do you have some ideas in mind of things that y'all want to do that are going to be innovative? That's like, oh crap, the vaping world hasn't seen this yet.
Not really. I mean, the purpose of platform, and we talked about this on the Greek show too, was not necessarily to reinvent the wheel. Okay, it's to look at what's out there, pick. And maybe improve on things that are being done, and put them in a package that's more approachable, that's potentially easier to use, easier to deal with. The Aries and the Zenith are perfect examples of that, right? The Aries, we just wanted to make it very, very approachable, invite people into rebuilding, make it super, super easy to change the coil, make it super easy to fill it. Zenith, same idea. Really, really easy to fill. It shuts the liquid flow off when you fill it, so you don't get gurgling, so the user doesn't have to think about that. And a really simple and easy way and clean way to get your coil in and out of the tank. So, you know, I think that's the goal with the platform line. So some of the things, yeah, potentially they haven't been seen before, but it's not like we're trying to evaporate e-liquid with lasers or thermal nuclear power or anything like that, right? It's just trying to take what we got, put it in a more approachable and easier to use package. So yeah, I mean, some of the things that I've got on paper haven't been done before. It's just a matter of, can we get what's on paper out into the market before somebody else does it, right?
All right, so I'm going to use this last bit of time. If y'all have questions, I know I haven't been looking at chat all that much, but if y'all got questions, start throwing them in there.
Is the first question is why does Phil say fuck so much? Holy Christ, Jesus, man. Yeah,
That is. Damn, how'd you know that shit?
are you serious? Was it really?
Hell no.
Like, you know what? I always tell everybody, like, you know, the whole. They called me the Godfather of vape on the Greek show. I'm like, oh, how the hell am I the Godfather? Give that to like Nick Grim Greeners. He's been doing it longer than I have. But maybe it's the look, maybe it's the gray hair, maybe it's the Italian, maybe it's the age. I don't know. But you know, I always say that I am a regular person, right? I'm a regular person that curses, that drinks, that gets crazy. You know, I'm not running for president, folks. I do, you know, YouTube reviews.
Well, it's better to be called Godfather than Grandpa's, because I get called Grandpa because of
well, you know, I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm sure I'm going to be called Grandpa or one of these days. You know, that's going to happen. I always like to say that, you know, I'm not getting older, I'm getting better. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There's also, you know, the dirty old man thing. See, dirty old man. Everybody's got to realize that you too, at some point, will become a dirty old man. See, but what a dirty old man used to be a young horny guy, right? Same brain, different package. But you're all going to get there.
Yep. Here's a question. I know that's gone by a few times. Ask Phil how he likes the Nixon RDTA he's using on that lift box.
That one right there. I don't understand why we feel the need to create a mouthpiece like that. So you know, it's all going to be personal style, personal preference. Everybody has, you know, a way that they like to vape. I don't understand why my mouthpiece has to be that short. Yep. I don't understand why I feel like I am deep throating my atomizer when I'm using my atomizer. I don't understand that. I cannot wrap my head around that thought, right? But I tell you what, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. I don't think it's bad either.
I hate those low profile tips.
I don't understand why I need to feel the tank.
I love low profile tips.
You do, right?
But not on a 510 though. On a 510, I like it to be a little bit taller. You know, those little tiny 510s that you see on these little like single coil RDAs and stuff like that. I'm not into those little.
Okay. Well, first of all, I know for a fact that I don't have this wicked perfectly. Right. So it's not the fault of the lift box. It's just that I have too much cotton going down into those channels into the tank. So I do have to adjust it a little bit, but I don't think it's horrible. And I tell you what, for the I'm actually impressed with it for the price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They actually, from what I heard, what are they called? Gas mods.
Gas mods. Yeah.
They actually, before they made their the Nixon, and they have an RDA also coming out. It's actually on the way, coming to me now. They actually used to make all the high-end RDAs that you see. They really won't mention which ones because they don't want to basically. Oh,
interesting. Okay.
You know, the ones that you see like on Facebook groups, you have to do X1, get on the list and all that.
Really?
Well, they manufacture them.
That's it there. Yep. Yes, and you know what? This is actually one that was not sent to me when I got the lift box. You know, due to the incredible lack of 22 millimeter and up rebuildable bottom fed dripping atomizers that do proper mouth to lung, right? Which is like not many. I went hunting for something because I didn't have anything here in Florida. I might have like one or two in Rochester, but the ones I have in Rochester are narrow, right? So they won't even work on the lift box. You got to be a 22 millimeter or above. So I went hunting, and like this, I bought this one, and I bought like 5 others. And this one was the only one that even came close to, a good mouth to lung. Yeah. But I'm waiting for that vape fly to come in. I'm excited about that.
So actual squonking devices, have you started kind of getting into that a little bit at all, or not your cup of tea? No,
because I'm lazy, right? Because I'm lazy. That's why the lift box appeals to me more than a squonker, simply because I have to remember to squonk, right? Same way with dripping. I have to remember to drip. If I don't remember to squonk, if I don't remember to drip, I get a dry, scratchy hit. I don't like dry, scratchy hits. Unless of course I'm using temperature control. But that's simply why the squonkers and drippers just don't appeal to me, because I forget, and I'm lazy. That's why tanks appeal to me a little bit more.
Gotcha. Wow, I figured we'd be off the chain here on questions, but maybe I've missed them along through.
I think that maybe they're scared. They're scared of like
There's
getting me today.
There's a question. Any release date for the Chroma Zenith kit?
From what I understand, it's shipping now.
Yep.
It's shipping now. I don't know how many they're going to be able to get out because of Chinese New Year. For those of you who don't know, Chinese New Year is a tough time. Basically, China shuts down, right? It literally becomes a ghost town. I even told them, I'm like, wow, I really want to go and I really want to experience Chinese New Year. They're like, why? It's like nothing. There's nothing going on. There's your celebrations in the towns and everything. But so basically the factories shut down. Now, when the factories reopen, the problem is they lose up to 35% of their workforce. Up to 35% of their workforce don't come back. They came from their villages. They made their money. They made enough money to live for a little while. They go back to their villages and they don't come back to work. Yeah. So now you've got this hole. You've got this hole that they need to fill up to 35%. So you got to bring new employees on. You got to get new employees up to speed. So it affects, and not just Anakin, but it affects all of the Chinese companies, because they're going to wind up having, throughput issues. They're not going to be able to get as much product out, and they're also going to have QC issues, right? Because you got all these new people on the lines. So hopefully they'll be able to get enough of these out so that people who are looking for them will be able to get one. But time will tell with that.
Yeah, they actually had told me I have the Zenith. Were you talking? I'm hearing feedback. I'm thinking you're talking over somebody.
Oh, hello.
There
we go.
Okay. Yeah, they actually sent me the Zenith tank, and then they told me to hold off on doing a video for it because of the Chroma kit.
Yeah, but I mean, the Chroma is exactly the same Chroma as the Chroma was before.
Yeah.
The only difference is it's going to say platform series on it, and it's going to come packaged and color coordinated with a Zenith tank. So we're starting with a black tank and a black Chroma, and we're also going to have, which I'm really excited about because I don't see a lot of them, a white tank with the white Chroma. And I happen to personally, and I've said this before, I happen to really, really like the black and white look, right? So I'm personally excited. I don't even have one yet, but I'm excited for the white Zenith, right?
But the funny part is that's what it is. I'm trying to figure out what this reminds me of.
That looks like a Zenith. That looks like that.
The Chroma.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of the Chroma, but in dual 18650 version.
Yep.
What is that mod?
This is the new one from UL.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called the Iron Fist.
I didn't even know UL made mods now.
Yeah. Oh, check this out. You don't know?
Here we go.
Started.
This right here, 80-watt tube mod with a board.
That I saw.
Yep.
Yep.
This is the nunchaku.
The nunchaku. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and
yeah, but if anybody's afraid to ask questions, please don't. I won't bite your head off, I promise.
there was another question here, and I'm trying to which I think I already know the answer to this one, but has Phil tried the Dead Rabbit SQ in mount to lung mode?
No.
Okay. That's kind of where I figured with that.
Who's got one? Does anybody have one there to show me?
I think Mike's got one, but of course Mike's gone in hiding for a
with a squonking RDA, no? Is it what SQ stands for? Like squonk?
Yes.
So Phil doesn't squonk. Why would he use it?
Well, that was a question.
Oh, okay. I'm lost.
Well,
Yeah, but
no,
so it's bottom feeding mouth to lung.
I think I don't know. I don't have one, but I thought that's what it was.
That'd be something I'd like to try on the lift box, actually.
Yeah, so that looks to be. Gosh, people, don't be scared.
Ultrasonic mod is viable. Ultrasonic mod.
Ultrasonic mod. There's one that I got involved with a crowdfunding. It's the Evoke, and I get like a notification from them about their status. Like, and I think I crowdfunded that. Oh, I don't know, 3 years ago. So I'm sure any year now they're going to have that thing out. But the more I read about that company, the more it looks like they're interested in the THC market more than they are the vaping market. But I mean, if it ever comes my way, anything new, I'm willing to take a look at and give it a shot. And it would be refreshing to give it a shot because, for the most part, what else can we do with wick and wire, with cotton and wire at this point? It's all extremely similar. But you have to come out. I understand the way we've become as an industry, and you have become as vapors. You got to have that next best thing, or you got to have that next new thing. So we just kind of take it and we redesign it a little bit, and we put it in a fancier box, and we give it a fancy name, and we put it out, and people buy it all over again. So it would be nice to see different stuff. I know Aspire has that new kind of stovetop looking tank. Did any of you guys try that?
I think Mike
did.
Mike did, I think.
Not the Aspire one. I tried the one from Vandy Vape.
Okay, how was that?
That has that coil in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's good for somebody that can't build, doesn't want to build, has no time to build.
Okay.
But wants to experience that RDA style of vaping, or maybe wants the squonk, sees all the hype with squonking mods, and it's like, I'd like to squonk, use an RDA, but I don't want to build. I don't want to deal with that. I'm a sub-ohm coil user kind of person. It's good introduction for them to use that. Or it's not really an RDA because RDAs are rebuildable, but it's that RDA form and get to experience squonking or.
You didn't try the Aspire one?
No, I have the Aspire one. I just never got to it. I got it somewhere over here.
See, I think what people forget is that there was a time where I squonked a lot, but it was back then, right?
Yep, that's the what's the name of it? I have actually got one of those.
The Rio,
that's it.
Right. So I mean, this is where squonking started, pretty much.
And I got also, what is that RDA that fit on there? Is it the Bugs or Bugs something? What was it
The
called?
Mark Bugs Chalice?
I think that, yeah, I have that too somewhere.
Yeah, so again, the Mark Bugs Chalice is an excellent mouth to lung dripping atomizer or bottom fed dripping atomizer, but it's narrow. I mean, you're talking about something that's about, that narrow, and it's not something that you could put on the lift box, because with the lift box, you do need at least that 22 millimeter to cover those holes, right?
Yep.
Great question. Phil's favorite device for new vapors.
That is a good question. I know the T20S is Innikin's newer one. So this is like their Christmas version of the T20S.
That's my wife's favorite mod right there.
The T20? Yeah, the T20S.
That one, except the one you're holding, she's got that in her hand every day.
That one.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Now, see, my wife, this is a little bit too loose for her, right? A little bit too loose for her. She prefers the T18. And I still think the T18 is one of the best devices to start with, because it's so similar to a cigarette. It's very, very narrow. The draw is very, very tight on it. It's actually got a little bit of a warmer vape, kind of like a cigarette. I still, to this day, recommend the T18 for folks. I think they're still making them. I think that's a great piece. I like their new Gooby. I call it the Gooby, even though I know it's the Goby, right? This has got a little bit of a tighter draw to it. And I tell you what, this E-Leaf Basil I'm really digging this. I don't know. I saw when Nick got when Grim Green, when he got the Aries, of course I'm interested in the reviews for the products. I saw him talk about this real quick. And you know how like everybody doubts everything that we say, right? You're getting paid, you get this, blah, blah, blah. Nick picked this up and he's like, wow, he's like, I really like this. I'm really digging this. And so if I was watching that, I would be like, please,
God.
Please silence your cell phones. If I was watching that, I'd be like, Nick got paid to say that, right? Nick. And then I pulled this out of the box and I felt exactly the way he did. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the feel of it, the look of it, the simple elegance of it. But I'm really digging this little product.
I felt the same way with that one too when I did.
You did too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's another one of those devices that is upstairs right now. My wife's got her little section and she's got that too. She loves that thing.
I can
the only thing with the device like that for her, she don't like the way it fills.
You nailed it. Exactly what I'm going to say in the video too. Because that tank is so small, you're filling it a lot. So they need a simple top fill method.
Yeah. How many times have they released something similar with that GS tank? The GS coil is an awesome coil from them.
It is.
And they keep on releasing bottom fill tanks. And I'm like, I didn't watch the videos. I say it in all the videos, you guys need to do top fill on this tank. I keep on saying it, and they keep on releasing bottom fill. They keep on getting that same con.
Well, they're gonna hear the same exact thing from me in the review, without a doubt. I love the way it vapes. I love the way it performs. I love the coil. I love the look. I love the feel. I don't like the flat buttons. I don't like I don't like pushing into a device. But that tank, without a doubt, needs an easier fill method.
Yeah. I mean, this one here is similar. This is another E-Leaf one. This one came out before that one, which is the same thing. It's got the GS. Nice tank. Vape's great, but that filling method on there sucks. And for somebody who, like someone like my wife, she's okay with filling tanks. She loves top fill. It has to be top fill. If you tell her to take out the base and fill it up,
that's it.
She don't use it. It just sits. And I tell her, why don't you use the device? She's like, oh, I don't want to fill it.
Yep.
So it's like, all right.
That's exactly right. That's exactly my opinion on it. Yep. Nailed it.
All right. I'm going to do this as the last question because we're about to wrap up here. Phil, and I know y'all talked about this other night, but we'll go ahead and ask the question again.
Sure.
Phil, what are your thoughts on Nick salts?
I'm all over the place with Nick salts. I'll be honest with you. Here's what I think about Nick salts. Okay, if you have somebody out there who is having a problem with vaping because they feel like they're not getting their nicotine level, or they're not getting their nicotine hit, and 12 and 18, or maybe even higher, is too harsh for them. Okay. And we'll talk about that in a second because I want to expand on that a little bit. But maybe Nick Salt is the right thing for them, okay? But this buzz and that you get from Nick is also being used by kids to get a Nick high, right? So again, you can't blame the product for that. You can't blame you got to blame the kid for that, right? So do I see benefits with Nick salts? Yes, I do. I do. But to those people who have tried like a 12 or an 18 or a 24 and it's harsh for them, right? Or they cough. Like that's always what I hear. Like I tried it and I coughed and I put it down. I tried it and I coughed and I put it down. Think about this for a second, okay? When did you have your first drag of a cigarette? Did you take that first drag and breathe that big bunch of smoke into your lungs and go, ah, that's so smooth and wonderful? No, you coughed your fucking lungs out.
Yep.
Okay? But you got used to it. And you continued to smoke and you got used to it, right? It's kind of the same way with that 12 and that 18. It's a little bit different, but if you continue to vape through it, you're going to get used to it. You're not going to cough anymore if you just have a little patience, right? think of it as having your very first cigarette all over again. Okay, but now some people are they're not going to want to deal with that. Okay, so maybe they can move into a Nic Salt to get that higher nicotine level that they need, but get it in a less harsh way. Okay, now outside of that, I don't know enough about like Nic Salts, what Nic Salts do to the coils, what they do to the metals, what the acids in the. I don't know. I can't speak to that stuff, right? But bottom line is, if you're using Nic Salts for the right reason, because you are a smoker and you haven't found anything yet that works for you, and Nic Salts work for you, fantastic. And that's kind of what I got to say about Nic Salts.
I do.
Guys, I have to run.
Yes.
9 minutes I got to be at.
We're actually wrapping this up.
Okay.
I want to thank Phil for coming on. As always, you've always got an open invitation here.
Appreciate it, brother.
Foxwoods is coming up, so that's going to be awesome. We'll all be there and all that good stuff. But Phil, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
My panel, as always, thank you for being there with me. And
good hanging out with you guys. I love you guys, man. Really.
Yes, sir. Don't forget the Vape Team tonight, 10 Eastern, and Mark's show on Sunday night. All that good stuff. So, again, we'll see you same time, same place next week. We're out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Bye.